So we can see quite clearly your setup now on this right hand one. There's a lot more weight now down to that front foot, okay? And if we actually look at the contact of this one, you felt as though you were hitting the sand first and fear for that thin shot. This actually goes into the sand before the goal. You've actually entered the sand somewhere back here by your right foot. Part of the reason that because you're sort of leaning back a bit too much. You enter the sand early, so you can see the divot's been started before the ball, but as the club now is starting to rise up a little bit sort of premature because they're leaning back slightly, you're catching the ball on the way up. So you're actually hitting the ball, you hear the click and go, I need to hit more sand. So in your mind, more sand was getting more back this way rather than just getting the ball a bit further forward and just sliding that club longer. So this one here now, you get a nice hinge of the wrist, sliding that club, you enter the sand now, sort of middle of your stance, you can see where the line was there, you entered it pretty much there, and you're trying to come out where it did. So this is the perfect shot. So when I went in the hole, obviously, came out there, the divot there was lovely. So you can see the divot you're creating there, that ball's coming off at quite a good angle there, sufficiently enough to get out of obviously this bunker, but even steeper bunkers you're going to find out on the golf course, okay? So you can just rotate to keep the club going nice and long and low, but not long and low locking, like your first few practice swings try to create. We're just keeping that club sort of sliding under and a nice full twist and the ball then going in the hole, but we missed it unfortunately. So it was a good shot. You can see the thing is the last 6-7 shots you've hit have all, I think the 5th or 6th one was a little bit too clean. There's been no sort of click of the golf ball, because at least by getting wider and left, you're sliding that club. The way I sort of described to a lot of people, it's almost like if you were raking the bunker, how would you rake it? You get quite a wide stance, get down here, and you'd be low, slow and long swings. You wouldn't be sort of feet together and trying to flick the rake up in the air, would you? So it's the same kind of principle. Get yourself nice and wide, get yourself low, and you're trying to slide that club, almost cut the legs from under it, not trying to lean back. I think when you hear the click of a ball, everyone goes, oh, I must hit the ball first. That's the logic, but in reality, you're actually hitting the sand early, and then the club was coming out of the sand afterwards. And then, of course, then you see this, I hit the sand, the ball's come out, what have I done? Have I hit the ball, then the sand afterwards? I must get, and you start to hit the sand further and further back in your stance. And unfortunately, that causes more and more of a problem, as we could see. You get the odd one or two, you get correct, but your consistency with the first half dozen were, first one was fab, and then it was like thin, bit heavy, scuttling in the bunkers. So you can get yourself wider, get yourself lower, sliding. And I think that once you don't fear bunkers, and again, it's not fear as in like panic, but if there's a bunker nearby, you're going to probably try and air away from it slightly. If you're not worried about going to a bunker, I mean, you ask any, certainly a professional or any good quality tour standard player or county player, they'd rather be in this than be in the grass there. Because they got more control, they know what's going to happen from here, and they can knock it within sort of 3 or 4 foot. Where in the rough there, not so good. Whereas a club golf, if I'm in here somewhere, I could not come out the bunker, at least there I'm going to be able to get on the green somewhere. So as you get better at bunkers, you're not going to fear them as much. Your margin of error with the green to go into the green will get bigger, because if you miss a green now, well, I'm in a bunker, hey, knock it close, 2-putt, hold the putt, whatever, even hold it. So it makes it a lot easier, a lot less pressure on your long game. So wider, wiggle, and then get that slide under the ball, keep that weight forward. If the weight leans back, that's the killer. The weight's got to be on that front foot, okay? And that could possibly be why your wedges are being pulled slightly. If you're going to put any weight on your back foot, you're going to be pulling the ball a bit to the left, possibly. Sort of presuming that it's more of a guess, I suppose. But sometimes you find short shots, sort of things that happen around the green, sort of 100 yards and in. They all do the same sort of fault, so could be an issue, right? Does that make sense, then? Yeah. So wider, lower, and more of a slide glide technique. And in terms of different lies, you're at the face of bunker, obviously leaning with the slope. From a down slope of a bunker, you lean down the slope. Obviously, you have to take into consideration the different trajectories you're going to get. So this could be a lob wedge, because you need to get more loft back in the ball. That one could be maybe less loft if you've got a long way to go. If the flag's 20, 30 yards further, maybe a 9 or a wedge maybe, if you've got enough launch to get up the bank there. So, okay.